Live. And here we are live.
Hi.
I'm actually back in my book room, which I haven't been in here for a long time, like to do things. So it's really kind of crazy. So I'm feeling kind of good because it's nice to see books behind me for once. But anywho, welcome to our channel, DoubleBookedCo, where we talk about our Etsy shop, as well as conduct all of our book club business, which is something we're definitely going to talk about first because we have books to pick for October, which is super fun. But as this is our new release video, we will also talk about some new releases that we have. And then if you are interested, we do have reading sprints happening right after this. Around 4:30. So if you're interested in that, definitely stay tuned or come on back around 4:30 and pop into that live stream. For this month, we are reading Lucy Foley's The Guest List. So I hear that's a pretty good one. So if you're interested, definitely jump on that. There's plenty of time. You have all month to read that for September. But let's talk a little bit about October. And as you are coming into the live stream here, definitely say hello. We love to see who's here. And Laura, why don't you go ahead and let everybody know what's happening in October?
Yep. All right. So since it's October, we unfortunately don't have anything that is outwardly Victorian for Victober. So, but we just went for sort of spooky, spoopy, creepy vibes in general. Again, everything is backlist. You could probably find most of the stuff at the thrift store. So hopefully something here will interest you guys enough to vote and join us for the next read. So 3 titles you will, after today or tomorrow sometime, you'll be able to vote in the comment section on this live and in the community tab for my channel, Book Bubbler, and Danny's channel, Spinelli Speaks. So that'll be up in the next day or ish. And you'll have 2 weeks to vote. So that means on the 25th of September, we will have sort of a repeat of today, and that at 4 o'clock we'll have our new product release, and at 4:30, instead of doing a reading sprint, it will be a discussion for the guest list, because it's only 2 weeks away. It's the last Sunday of the month, so that's a quick turnaround. But you guys will have those whole 2 weeks to go ahead and vote in 3 different places on which title you'd want to read in October. So first up for October is The Physic Book of Deliverance Dane by Catherine Howe, which looks like this. Yep, there you go. No glare for yours. All right. A Harvard graduate student, Connie Goodwin, needs to spend her summer doing research for her doctoral dissertation. But when her mother asks her to handle the sale of Connie's grandmother's abandoned home near Salem, she can't refuse. As she is drawn deeper into the mysteries of the family house, Connie discovers an ancient key within a 17th century Bible. The key contains a yellowing fragment of parchment with a name written upon it, Deliverance Dane. This discovery launches Connie on a quest to find out who this woman was and to unearth a rare artifact of singular power, a physic book, its pages a secret repository for lost knowledge. As the pieces of Deliverance's harrowing story begin to fall into place, Connie is haunted by visions of the long-ago witch trials, and she begins to fear that she is more tied to Salem's dark past than she could have ever imagined. Written with astonishing conviction and grace, the Physic Book of Deliverance Dane travels seamlessly between the witch trials of the 1690s and a modern woman's story of mystery, intrigue, and revelation. So this sounds properly creepy for October.
I'm really excited to read this one, to be honest.
I know, me too. All right, your number 2 choice here is a bit of a chunkster, and that is The Clockmaker's Daughter by Kate Morton. Okay. In the summer of 1862, a group of young artists led by the charismatic and talented Edward Radcliffe descends upon Birchwood Manor on the banks of the Upper Thames. Their plan, to spend a secluded summer month in a haze of inspiration and creativity. But by the time their stay is over, one woman has been shot dead while another has disappeared, a priceless heirloom is missing, and Edward Radcliffe's life is in ruins. More than 150 years later, Elodie Winslow, a young archivist in London, uncovers a leather satchel containing two seemingly unrelated items: a sepia photograph of a beautiful woman in Victorian clothing, and an artist's sketchbook containing the drawing of a twin-gabled house on the bend of a river. Why does Birchwood Manor feel so familiar to Elodie? And who is the mysterious, unidentified woman in the photograph? As Elodie pursues these clues, the lives of the many people who have passed through the house are revealed. There is Radcliffe, whose love affair with his model and muse consumes him; his sister Lucy, who opens a school for young ladies; Leonard Gilbert, a soldier and scholar who retreats to Birchwood after World War I to heal and to write a biography of Radcliffe; Juliet, a young widow who takes refuge there with her three small children during the Blitz; and, in the present day, Jack Rowlands, who has come from far away to search for lost treasure and who meets Elodie when she eventually arrives at the house. Intricately layered and told by multiple voices across time, this is a kaleidoscopic story of murder, mystery, and thievery, of art, love, and loss. And flowing through its pages like a river is the voice of a woman who stands outside time, whose name has been forgotten by history, but who has watched it all unfold: Bertie Bell, the clockmaker's daughter. So that is The Clockmaker's Daughter.
And I have been feverishly trying to find the third one, but when I look up the summary in Goodreads, it's in Russian or something. I can't, it won't go to like regular English.
Can you check Amazon?
I'll try.
Okay, so
I
know. Our third book, and this was really popular about 7 years ago. And I assumed that on the back there was a summary, and right before we hit live, I realized there wasn't. So Dani's looking for the description. But while she's trying to find it, the third book option is In a Dark, Dark Wood by Ruth Ware. So all I have heard about this is that it's creepy and dark. That's all I know.
Okay, so it's very short, but this is what Amazon says. So it says, what should be a cozy and fun-filled weekend deep in the English countryside takes a sinister turn in Ruth Ware's suspenseful, compulsive, and darkly twisted psychological thriller. Sometimes the only thing to fear is yourself. When reclusive writer Lenora is invited to the English countryside for a weekend away, she reluctantly agrees to make the trip. But as the first night falls, revelations unfold among friends old and new, an unnerving memory shatters Leonora's reserve, and a haunting realization creeps in. The party is not alone in the woods. I don't know about that. That sounds scary.
Yeah, it does.
I like the countryside.
So those are our three options: In a Dark, Dark Wood by Ruth Ware, The Clockmaker's Daughter by Kate Morton, and last but not least, The Physic Book of Deliverance Dane by Catherine Howe. So again, sometime in the next day, you'll be able to vote here in the comments and on our channels in the community tab, and we will reveal what's picked for October in 2 weeks in our live show.
Yes.
Thanks for
and to be honest, they all sound really good. I'm kind of interested in all of them.
Mm-hmm. I am too. It makes me feel better about A Dark, Dark Wood if this does get picked, because it will be reading it together and I'll feel less freaked out probably.
Yes,
you know,
absolutely. And thankfully, I remember when everyone was like talking about this book, but I didn't really listen to it because I don't read a lot of psychological thrillers and stuff like that. So I feel good about if it were to be picked, I would be okay with reading it because I haven't heard any of the hype about it. So I would be going in with fresh eyes. So that's one thing that is nice about not getting into the hype, is just being able to go into a book fresh. Mm-hmm. So, Angela is here. I want to make a public apology. I kept calling you Andrea in the last live stream, and it's because I have a sister-in-law whose name is Andrea, but she goes by Ange. So I think in my head, because your nickname is Andy, I was like, Andrea, it's Angela. Oh my gosh. Baby brain. Anywho, we have Cool Gamer is here. We also have Angela or Andy. Yeah, the Packers are on. Actually, they just started at 3:25. So if you are a Wisconsinite like us, you actually may be watching the Packer game, which is totally cool. You can always watch this and replay. We like replay. Go ahead and put some comments down below for us. If you are watching this in replay, we will obviously comment right on back because we love the conversation. Looks like Susan is here as well. And it looks like
oh, good.
Red Cloud Maker's Daughter. Awesome.
Have you
I
read
don't think
before?
I was just gonna say I don't think I've ever read from any of these authors.
Yeah.
Although Catherine Howe, that sounds familiar to me.
I think this was her first book, and she's since written 2 more, I want to say.
Okay. Yeah. So not sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, it is very funny. Okay. So let's go ahead and talk about some new products. And then whomever is going to be joining us in the reading sprints, we're excited to start those in about 15 minutes.
Ooh.
But as we do here on DoubleBookedCo, we are going to share my screen because it's easier. And though we are not reading anything for Victober, we are actually going to be sharing some Victober bookmarks. So we have these lovely bookmarks for sale in today in, I was going to say in October, but they're going to be on our site tomorrow. But these are all what we are calling kind of some of our Victober sets. And if you are familiar with our shop, you know that we already have several bookmarks that we deemed Victober bookmarks or vintage bookmarks. Laura and I both love our Victober and vintage style bookmarks. So you'll notice we do have quite a few options for that. And we'll probably feature those up on the top of our shop. They are some of our favorites. So we decided to add to the group. So you can see we have 6 different styles in this collection. And you'll see some of them have a little bit of color, which I think is really great because not everything in Victober needs to be that vintagey, gray, antique-y look. Some can really just shine with the color, which I really love in this grouping. So you can see we have 6 different styles. First, we have those silhouettes of some ladies there. And the backside is absolutely beautiful. This yellow floral, I just think is so vibrant. And it really stands out in person. It's really great. And then you can see on the side there, these little perfume bottles. And it's kind of like an antique-y, almost like brownish color, like a sepia almost. And then the backside of that is this very faint cream, like Damascus kind of style there. Very, very faint. So you can faintly see it on the picture here, same as in person. Then we have that really vibrant, colorful bookmark, which you can see I included 2 different bookmarks here so you can see what the cut lines do to these bookmarks. So if you are a butterfly lover, you need to make sure that you message us with your order to say would like butterfly, because you can see on the flip side you really only get a butterfly tip on the very top of that bookmark. But these are like, what would you call this, Laura?
It's like a collage of vintage illustrations, but it's really brightly colored, obviously. And there aren't really any repeats for patterns for flowers or for butterflies or birds or anything. It's all, the whole sheet was really unique. So everyone's going to look really different.
Yes.
But there are butterflies that happen throughout.
Yeah, and you can see like they have like figure 6 and they like have a scientific name. And then the back side is just this really subtle kind of pattern here. It's like lined with some floral on there, but it's very vibrant, very, very colorful, and I absolutely love it. I love this egg on here, like a robin's egg almost. It's just so pretty. Then we have something similar. So you have different like specimens on this one, but it's back to that vintagey look with no color. And then the back side of that is very similar. It's like the definitions or like the writing on it. And you can see that will also have difference on their cut lines. I love that one. Mm-hmm. And then this one here has a background of script with those quilled pens, those quill tip pens. And you can see I included 2 on this as well because the cut lines will be different. And you can see this actually was one that was right next to each other. So some of them you'll have, you know, less pen tips. Some of them you'll have more. Some you'll have a full pen. Some you'll only have pieces. So it's very different as far as the cut lines go. And then the back side are scripted letters, like, you know, the calligraphy letters, but then it's like as if water has been splattered on them. So very, very interesting backside, but I love it. Oops. Yep. So that was our full vintage line. You can see we're going to get into our books next. But that's just the one that we'll have for new bookmarks. I'll show you, we're going to be restocking a collection of bookmarks, but I'll come to that after we're done with the new stuff. So those are the new, that's the new collection, new Victober collection. So then we obviously get into our books. So what you'll see here first are a couple of our paperback books. So we have a couple in the series, in the Richard Castle series. So if you ever watched Castle on ABC, that's the books for that. So we have Frozen Heat. We also have Deadly Heat. I feel like there was one more that I must not have pictured here. I feel like it was orange, so I must have missed that one when I was downloading, but there's a third one in here. Let me see if I have it in my pile right here. Yep, sure enough. So the third one that we'll have in there is this one here, which is Heat Rises. So there's 3 Richard Castles. I believe it's 2, 3, and 4 of that series. We also have a paperback of Little Elvises. This is a Junior Bender mystery. And I would say, like, as far as genre goes, the Richard Castle books are like mystery, crime. I wouldn't necessarily call it a thriller, I don't think, but mystery crime novels. Then we have this Maureen Jennings' Beware This Boy. This is number 2 in the Detective Inspector Tom Tyler mystery series. And this is what the Murdoch mystery series, this is that author.
Nice.
So if you are familiar with that series, it's the same author. Then we're going to go into some hardcover books. So we have Major Pettigrew's Last Stand, and this is hardcover. We also have Dear Edward, which we were talking about last week in our last time we did our reading sprints, because there's a bunch of you reading this book. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's on my list for next week for books we have. So we have Dear Edward. And then we have some Robert Galbraith books. We have Lethal White. We also have Silkworm. And these are all hardcover. Some of them are first edition. And then A Cuckoo's Calling, or The Cuckoo's Calling. So we have about 10 books and 1 new set of bookmarks. But then we also have some restocks, which I'm going to show you. We're going to be restocking our bookshelves. So these are very popular. They go very, very fast. So if you're interested, be sure to jump on that. But those will be restocked tomorrow as well. And then since we have Christmas really around the corner, folks, I hate to say it, but it is really around the corner. And I know with shipping and all of that, everyone wants to make sure they're getting their Christmas gifts. We will be restocking our Christmas book bags. So if you recall, if you followed us from last Christmas, these are a Christmas bag, which you get to pick your design, and we have a couple available. And that includes the bag. And then there's a Christmas book in there. There's also a Christmas bookmark. And then there is a holiday ornament, which is our book page confetti ornaments. And they're all a mystery to you. So you don't know what the book looks like, you don't know what the ornament looks like, and you don't know what the bookmark looks like. But those are all in those Christmas or holiday bags. And then we also are going to be restocking our holiday book page confetti ornaments. And there are so many options as far as like what you're looking for in your design, and different colors as well. So there are so many to pick from. There's really a lot of different styles that we have in there. And then they are filled with the book pages like you saw on that first image. And if you saw those last year, they're a lot of fun, super easy to stuff in a stocking or give for St. Nick. And then the last item that we'll be restocking are the How the Grinch Stole Christmas ornaments. And that's a set of 3. So you get all 3 in that set. Yeah, I liked making those last year. That was fun. So anywho, so those are all of the bookish gifts and collections that we will be putting forward tomorrow on the Etsy shop. Everything usually drops before 10 a.m. So that you can get that. I do want to remind everybody, especially as Christmas is coming along, we do have free shipping for any orders over $35. So definitely keep that in mind as you are shopping. And then I'm sure we'll have a bunch of different fun things happening from now until then. Obviously, look for some deals happening around the holidays. But I think last year, all of our shipping got to people, before Christmas. You just have to make sure you're thinking ahead. And as it gets closer to Christmas, definitely, don't assume that we can't get you something based on what the system says, because if you contact me, and depending on where we are, I can certainly see if we can get it into the mail sooner rather than later. But obviously no guarantees, because like for instance, I have one customer who had a package that it's lost, like it got lost. We obviously sent her a replacement, but I check on it all the time, and it's just sitting at her post office. So I don't know where it went, but unfortunately, we can't help those things. The post office just sometimes loses mail. So obviously no guarantees on getting things on time, but that's one out of the, we've had over 200 orders. So yeah, it is usually okay. But yeah, I think that's all we have for new products and just talking about the books that we have going. And obviously, we'll talk about these again once we get to our productivity sprints. But does anyone have any questions about any of the new products we just talked about? Laura, did you have anything else, or did I miss anything?
No, I don't think so. Just a reminder that you'll have 2 weeks to vote on the 3 books, and we'll see you back here for another new product release, and that's when we'll announce our October pick, whatever was picked. So
right. And then for those of you who are interested in joining the Voxer chat, please let us know. We did leave a little message in there regarding next year's picks. So if you're interested in being part of that group, definitely jump in there. And if you are part of that group and you haven't answered that question yet, be sure to check that out. And that is due by the end of September.
Yep, because there's plenty of time, but we do need some more input from you guys.
Yes, we do.
So, yep.
Okay. Well, I don't see any questions in the comments. Let's go ahead and switch gears. If you'll be joining us, we are going to be starting in about 5 minutes with our reading sprints. And if you are like Laura and I, we're going to be reading our book club pick of Lucy Foley's The Guest List. Yep. So that's what we're reading in September. But okay, well, I guess we will see you all in 5 minutes back here on our channel to do some reading sprints.
Sounds good. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.